All right, Make Moves TV here with another exciting collaboration for you guys. Here I've got Brad Skiminski here with me. And for those of you who do not know Brad, he's 19 years old. He's from Michigan. He's a passion and purpose driven entrepreneur. He's the leader of the ongoing enlightenment. Uh, most, most of all, here to help others live their life and enjoying his time here on earth. And today guys, he's going to share with you the reason you need to create and produce more than you're consuming. Absolutely. Brad, welcome aboard, Brad.
Thank you. It's good to be here, man.
So tell me, this sounds like wow, like some massive quoting stuff over here. When I heard this topic, I was absolutely blown away. Like, tell me what's sitting in your mind? Well, how do the viewers understand specifically what you mean by create and produce more than you consume? What does that mean?
Well, you see, like in this world, most people they're always trying to get the new iPhone. They're always trying to get the new thing. They're always consuming the next funny YouTube video, and everybody gets stuck in that YouTube paralysis, that rabbit hole. Where you watch one video and then you go to the next, and then you go. Everybody's been there, and it's just kind of natural to just keep consuming, keep consuming. But the way you get ahead of the game, the way you really become your greatest version, the way you really get what you want out of life, so you have to produce stuff, because you don't receive from consuming, because consuming itself is receiving. You have to produce, and then you receive from what you've produced. So you have to create something in order to receive something. So most people, they just want stuff, they want stuff, they want stuff, but you have to stop and you have to give, and then you can get more, and you can really create abundance in your life. So that's really, and we're all kind of trained. I know, especially in America, I haven't traveled enough to know other countries well or know the culture, but I know America, most people are just consuming, and that's really the majority of people. And if you want to stand out, you got to produce.
Yeah, and that's amazing because I've been hearing for the past couple of years that we consume so much in America here, meaning product wise, food wise. Now it's like not only are we consuming products, but we're consuming entertainment to like super consuming entertainment. And it's so ironic because I woke up this morning, I looked at my Instagram, and there was Gary Vee. Gary Vee was saying if you give more than you receive, you have the upper hand. And I'm like,
40
wow.
The 49-51 thing. Yep, I just watched that before this. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you talked about entertainment, like going along with the producing more than you consume. It's the entertainment, and it depends on what you consume. And still, you should produce more than you consume, but most people, they're consuming entertainment. Just entertainment. Most people aren't really focusing on education. They'll go to college, they'll do the traditional system, and then I think there's a statistic that's like less than 30% of college graduates read a book after college. You got to educate yourself. You have to continuously be educating yourself and growing, because that's what humans, that's our skill. We have this brain, and that's really what makes us so special. That's what makes humans, and I think not enough people are capitalizing on that and really educating more than just entertaining themselves for the next day, and then entertaining themselves, instead of educating and really living your best life.
Yeah, it's so ironic because the last collaboration I did, I was talking about, I believe that human beings, we have a responsibility to ourselves to keep growing and to educate ourselves. We owe that responsibility to ourselves and to our family, to get the things that we want, because we're not going to get it just being the same way that we are right now. We have to do more, and we have to elevate ourselves. My thing is, for me, I remember it was so challenging to go from being a heavy volume consumer to actually transitioning into a producer. What suggestions do you have? Because I know this can be a hard transition to wake up one morning. You just can't say, oh, I'm going to stop consuming so much and start producing and have an epiphany. What do you suggest to people to help that transition? What do they need to do to really, start that process going?
So something I do, because I'm someone, like I said, you got to educate yourself. It can't just be all entertainment. But what I do is when I am consuming something, even if it is entertainment, I try to pull something from it. I try to learn from it, and then I try to find my perspective on that because we all have a unique perspective on whatever it is, and we all can share that with the world with what we produce, whether it's YouTube videos, whether it's Facebook, whatever it is, right? And so what you need to do is you need to take something from whatever you're watching, a YouTube video, educational, entertainment, whatever it is. Try to take something from it, figure out what your unique perspective is on that, and then share it. So then from consuming something, you then produce something. And that's really what I've found to help me. And if you're ever lost on ideas, you can go get inspiration from people doing similar things like that. Don't steal their ideas. Don't say exactly what they say or anything like that. But find what your unique perspective is on that topic and then share it. And that's how I've found to transition more to a producer be the best way to do so.
Wow, that sounds absolutely phenomenal for someone who's starting. Reading, what's your take on reading and top three books right now in your mind?
Okay, so I'll give you my reading strategies or techniques, and then I'll give you my top three. Uh, so for reading with me is, and this is something I learned a lot from Ty Lopez, is I try to find nuggets, like just little things of knowledge, like some little great things. Because in every book, there's filler. There's stuff that you don't necessarily need to read, but there's always those golden nuggets, those things where you're like, wow, like that makes sense, like whoa. And so what I try to do is I try to hunt for those in every book. And so I kind of skim, kind of speed read through books, and I'm not always reading one book. Sometimes I am, depends on the book. But I usually read multiple books in areas that I think I need help with in my life, and I try to find that one thing in that book. And once I've found it, once I've pulled something from that book, one piece of knowledge, I can put it down. I can sit on that. Because a lot of people are addicted, again, to consuming. Even they might be consuming the great knowledge, self-development, personal growth, whatever it is, but they're addicted to just consuming that, and they aren't, really putting action into that knowledge. They're just, oh, let's read this self-help book, and then let's read another self-help book, and then let's read, but they don't take action on it. So what I like to do is I like to read a chapter or read something where I gain some golden nugget of knowledge, and then sit on that, let it, for like a week or so, let it kind of come into action in my life, think about it, ponder on it, meditate on it, and then once I see it start to be influenced into my life, then I can move on to the next thing, and then I can take action on the next thing. So that's with reading. I would say just don't get too addicted to, oh, that was such a good book, let's read this book, and just keep consuming. Like we said, you got to produce, can't just consume. And for my top three, yeah, I have to say, gosh, this is going to be hard. The fourth, what is it? Or the third, I got to think of, there's one that I was talking about with you before when we had a little Skype conversation. We talked before this, and I couldn't think of the name of it. But I'll think of it later, and I'll let you know or something.
Yeah, I'll put in the description section below.
Yeah. But The One Thing, I think it's Gary Keller, but it's called The One Thing. That is a phenomenal book. I highly recommend it for productivity, finding purpose. It's a great book. I want to say Rich Dad, Poor Dad, just for the fact that was the first book I really read. That's what opened my eyes to everything. And while it's not my favorite book, but it just it was the catalyst. It really opened my eyes to, whoa, there's something else out there. Because it was the first self-development, personal development book I had ever read at all. And now it's mainly driven on money and finances and stuff like that, but still, it's a good book. And the other way I want to say is Love Louder by Preston Smiles. It's 33 Ways to Amplify Your Life. He recently released it. He's a smaller guy on YouTube, but he really killed it in that book, and it's really good for someone trying to get into personal development or somebody who already is. It's very easy to find golden nuggets in that book. He has it laid out in all the chapters and whatnot. But those are probably my top three. I'll let you know. I know the first one is on the tip of my tongue. I just can't think of it, and it's such a good book.
That happens. Yeah. So, in terms of what to produce, how does someone know what should they go ahead and produce? Like, okay, so I don't want to consume anymore. I want to produce. What do I produce?
Well,
any tips?
Well, you could start with, what are you consuming? What do you like? you could, and like we said with the strategy of going from whether it's entertainment or education, what can you take from that, put your unique perspective on it, and then produce it. Um, and if you don't want to, maybe you're watching some entertainment stuff that's funny, and you don't like to be the comedical type or the comedian or whatever. Maybe you want to do something else. Maybe you want to do something really serious that you're passionate about. Find it. Like, we have the internet. You can find what you love. It's never been so easy to do some research and just get out of your comfort zone. Try different things. Figure out what you like. If you like making YouTube videos, start making YouTube videos. Whatever's on your mind, just start speaking in front of a camera. Because at first you're not going to be that great on video. I wasn't. You probably weren't. Like, it just isn't. It doesn't start like that. You got to practice at it. And once you start just doing it, just making YouTube videos, you'll start to find your message through your videos, and you start to realize what you're really trying to get across. And really, everyone has their own message. Everyone has something to share. So I just say, get out there, whether it's on video, whether it's through writing a blog, whatever it is, get your message out there. Just produce what is in here, because this is so unique and so different and so amazing that you have something to share. You have a message, so get out there.
Awesome. Last question. What do you consume the most?
I have to say, it's obviously, for me, it's personal development for sure, but it's probably like, it's not like the motivational videos, but like they're inspiring, but they're also like practical, like Gary Vee's stuff. I'm not saying he's my top YouTube guy. He's one of them. Gary Vee's amazing.
Absolutely, I agree too.
Yeah, of course. I don't know who wouldn't, but yeah, no. There's so much, pretty much YouTube videos, I'd say, but like educational YouTube videos, and also books. But I've slowed down the reading because honestly, I'm not the best reader, and reading it's sometimes it's difficult for me to sit down and read a book instead of watching an educational YouTube video. I just enjoy that more. It's easier for me to consume, and that's how I do that.
Right. One last question is just popped in my mind. A lot of people consume so much, but I heard you mention practicality just now. A lot of people have a hard time after they've consumed to put stuff into practice. Do you have like one tip? How do you go from consuming to practicing? Like, a lot of people can just consume, but when it's time to be practical, they can't practice. Now, first of all, do you believe that being practical is that important, or just consuming is good enough?
So I mean, are you talking about like a lot of people have trouble taking action on the knowledge that they're gaining?
Absolutely, that's exactly.
I mean, if for whatever, like if you're in personal development, right? If you're getting into that type of stuff, you're obviously looking for something. You obviously want to live your best life. You want to improve yourself. You want to be better. You want to be the best version of yourself. Do you ask yourself, do you really want it? Like, if you aren't willing to take action on it, you're wasting your time. Like, I hate to be serious, and this is practical advice. You're wasting your time if you aren't taking action on this knowledge that you're gaining. Like, because that's how it happens. You get the knowledge, that's half of it, but then you got to do something with it. So, like, I want to give some piece of advice that, like, this is what you would do in order to take action, but really it's up to you. Like, do you really want it? That's the question you got to ask yourself. If you don't, then you can keep consuming and doing whatever, or you can start to implement it. You can start to produce results in your life and start to really change and live your best life. Or you can continue to consume and continue to kind of be in that type of rat race.
Absolutely. Listen, questions keep coming to mind. Work ethic. Tell me about your work ethic when it comes to your YouTube channel, and a little bit about your YouTube channel.
So with my YouTube channel, because not my YouTube channel isn't my only thing. You know, I run a digital marketing business. I also work a job where I'm a warehouse manager. I'm doing a lot of different things right now. But my YouTube channel, it's my passion. It's what I love to do. It's really like it's what I love. And when it comes to work ethic with that, it's just something I don't have to worry about because I love it. Like, it does not, when I do it, it doesn't feel like work. And it's not like I'm getting paid to do YouTube. Obviously, like, it's not work. It's a hobby, and it's something I love. But it's something that could turn into work. And that's what I think everybody should be chasing, is something that they love, so that they can eventually make it into work, so that it doesn't feel like work. One of I'm gonna add this maybe top 4 books. The book Flow. I can't remember who the author is, but that's great. It talks about like doing something that you love for work, so that your life just flows. Like when you're working, it doesn't really feel like work. But I'm sorry, I rambled. What was
Yeah, so I mean, you hit it spot on. Thanks for the extra book too. Listen, guys, this is Make Moves TV. I hope you got tons of value out of this. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button below. Hit the detail section to get all of Brad's links. You'll find Bradley on his YouTube channel. You'll find all his links to all his social media, everything down there. Make sure you hit thumbs up. And remember, if you have anything you'd like to comment on that you think would add value to what we were saying, or if you have any questions at all that you'd like to ask, post it in the comment section, guys. I hope you took value out of this, and don't forget, Make Moves TV. Thanks, Brad. Let's shake hands.